If you spent any time online in 2025, you likely saw the nicknames. On Chinese social media, the US president was branded Taco, or Trump always chickens out, mocking his pattern of making massive tariff threats only to delay them. But another nickname was far more revealing: Chuan Jian Guo. Chuan Jian Guo translates to nation builder. It's a tongue-in-cheek argument from Chinese netizens that by firing off unpredictable trade threats, Donald Trump is accidentally helping China consolidate its status as a global superpower. But underneath the viral jokes and the loud, very public feud between Washington and Beijing lies a massive geopolitical distraction. We focus entirely on these two titans locked in a stalemate, tracking every threat and every tariff. Meanwhile, the most important economic consequence of their fight is happening elsewhere. The friction between these two economies has sucked the oxygen out of the room, creating a massive, unattended vacuum for a third player to fill. This chart displays the historic tariff escalation of 2025. The United States imposed duties reaching 145%, and Beijing immediately hit back with 125% tariffs on American goods. The immediate result followed the math. Chinese exports to the U.S. market plunged 20%. Yet in that exact same year, China recorded a $1.2 trillion trade surplus. Chinese exporters didn't stop producing, they simply rerouted. Goods surged into Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, and Europe, often passing through third countries to blunt the effect of the tariffs. This redirection caused immense supply chain chaos, and India was uniquely positioned to capture the overflow. While Chinese shipments to America fell, India's own exports rose by 12.8%. The shift was physical. India absorbed $89 billion in foreign direct investment and captured 14. India stepped in as the primary alternative. They hold the world's fifth largest rare earth reserves, 6.9 million metric tons of raw capacity. The result was the U.S.-India Critical Minerals Partnership, a strategic deal that bypasses Chinese refining and secures India's position as a critical node in the global supply chain. When China weaponizes its industrial catalog, India positions itself as the only viable escape route for the West. That 1.2 trillion Chinese trade surplus isn't necessarily a sign of strength. It is a coping mechanism for an economy failing from the inside out. Inside China, consumer savings are evaporating, and the property market has collapsed. The landscape of unfinished housing developments proves the domestic economy has stalled. This is deflation export. Because Chinese citizens have stopped buying, local firms are dumping their excess capacity onto global ports at a loss, simply because there is no demand left at home. This map reveals a different pressure. Half of China's oil imports must pass through the narrow Strait of Hormuz, a waterway they cannot protect. If the 2026 Iran war tightens or closes that strait, China's economic engine runs out of fuel. The record surplus is a mask. It hides a system that is over-leveraged and dangerously exposed to disruptions in the Middle East. China settled 90% of Iran's oil deals in yuan, integrating their economies on paper. But when the regional conflict erupted in 2026, Beijing's military was nowhere to be seen. They would not risk intervention to protect their energy lifeline. The global realization was blunt. China is an eager economic partner, but it will not offer security. India used this exact reality to practice omni-alignment, balancing major powers against each other without committing to any of them. India relies on the US for security, China for trade, Russia for discounted oil, and Iran for direct seaport access at Chabahar to secure its trade routes. By playing every side, India is filling tech orders for Apple, locking down European trade routes, and challenging rare earth monopolies all at once. The irony of the nation builder joke is that it might actually be true, only the nation being built by the chaos of this trade war is India. Who do you think actually won the US-China trade war? America, China, or India? Leave one word in the comments.